This VFF.
Yeah, and it's only day one of this World Championship. It's only the first group, but we already have such an intense deciding match. I did not expect myself to say deciding match so soon, but here we are at this pivotal moment between EVOS SG, who are temporarily on the back foot because the only way out is to win this series by hook or by crook. And VFM, if they win, they're through.
Oh, whoa, that's a little bit too hasty of the side of Tiny, but of course, being a matcha, you could do as you please. Just slowly proxying the wave, and now Potato just dishing so much damage that Tiny is now left with only 50%, but you know, you could always just regen your HP up as a matcha. Yep, back to 100% we go.
Yep, that is Marsha, the lady with the power of the beast. She's gonna unleash that, and we've seen RQ in the very first game itself today. They were the one who brought this Marsha. They were the one who showcased how Marsha can get such a big gold lead. But they did run the wooden mask instead of your traditional boots. So slightly different plays are coming out from VFM. But we talk about how VFM, they are so good at creating space for objectives. Even against RRQ, sure they lose members, sure they give out Lucky, they give out one tower. But in that particular game, they secured all the turtles and all the lore, and there's something really impressive that you just cannot overlook.
That's right, and now we're seeing some challenges coming in the bottom side. Tiny dropping out low, forced the flicker out, but somehow walks out unscathed, only with a slither of health left.
And what a flicker just behind Oh Dear Bambi. The meteor shower was inches away from connecting on this Marsha. So because of that, VFM, they will protect that first blood, but EVOS actually, they get the turret in return.
That's right, and VFM as well, they're also getting a whole lot of that advantage inside of jungle, and now JPL almost getting fully clipped out as we see Broly instantaneously respond to a couple of bullets sent his way, but Ace here coming in with 4 members in towards the mid lane. This is going to be EVOS SG playing it relatively safely. And over on the top side, that Tamus versus Granger matchup will definitely be pretty much even up because Granger does have enough range. And here comes the very first turtle being contested, and it will be in the hands of EVOS SG.
And you see at VFM, they're not able to get the objective. Not able to take the fight as well. EVOS SG, they just immediately disengage, respecting VFM's ability to fight in this situation. Even though they have not hit level 4 yet, but EVOS SG, they're not taking any risk.
That's right, and I would say that that's a little bit too late for VFM to even respond, or perhaps the best that they can do is just use the retribution to just snatch that one away. But there's a little bit of distance in between, and now So having to deal with T-Max as well as Broly. There'll be a little bit of that sort of damage being chunked out there from the side of Broly. Now over on the mid lane here, they're responding with a push for themselves as well. Look at how similar both sides are actually playing, that things are still on a stalemate. No kills whatsoever in the span of 3 minutes.
And EVOS actually taking a page out of RRQ's book. They kind of learned that you cannot leave this Marsha alone, even for a couple of minutes, because that's what happened during that game with RRQ. So they're just going to commit straight onto that bottom tier 2. The Great Chill Lucky getting that way of the Dragon off, but not able to follow it up, and it's now trying to turn it around the wall, actually keeping Zhao Piao alive.
That is pretty too close to comfort here. Well, I'm even fumbling on my words on that because I don't really know how to respond. Like, it could have been either side to actually pick up that first blood right there. But T-Max as well as Hyde, we see great rotations coming from the side of VFM. But there's going to be a little bit of that setup coming from EVOS SG because the next turtle will be spawning over our lower side of the river. And they're pretty much on their way, while Tamus is having some great free push over on the top side.
Oh, Lucky. Not really sure if that is the kick that he was looking for, but he did manage to send this Grog far away from the rest of his team. And I like what EVOS SG is trying to do. If you get the tier 2 bottom, you're forcing this Marsha to go to top, which Teeny is already doing so. But because of the early deficit, there's no way she can fight this Diamonds. Forced to flicker away to safety. Meanwhile, VFM will start a fight immediately in the bottom corner of the map. Potato managing to get out with that flicker. Zhao Piao as well, escaping. Glorious pathway use as well by the Hylos as VFM tries to secure this second turtle.
Great natural push coming in from the bottom side as well. They managed to secure the very first tower over the top. And now we're looking at Zhao PL enacting a lot of all that pressure as a Grok. This is how every team should be playing a Grok so offensively to keep enemies at bay. Now we're looking at a little bit of that goal lead headed over to the side of EVOS. And now they're already bringing the health down low for the side of the turtle. And great wall charge over on T-Max to force that flicker away. And Look at Hyde. He's getting chunked up by the mid-air shower. That will be first blood for the Valor as Lucky stranded in between. And Zhao PL, the next one to fall. And same goes to the Chow that's caught right off. And look at that. Great Bloodless Axe has already been purchased from the side of the Tamas, and now he's hopping right in, forces a flicker out of these members of BFM.
And for the second time, Lucky was not able to follow up with that ultimate. He did send Zhao PL to within the range of his turret, but because he didn't follow up, he wasn't able to survive that engage. Now T-Max taking the brunt of that, should be able to stay alive a bit more, has to use that ultimate just for the extra regeneration. And EVOS actually, they'll keep out the pressure, not able to take down that mid turret. Still though, Lucky again a bit far from home. They're gonna block him out with that wall, and it seems like EVOS SG, they smell blood, they find one, and High is not gonna be able to hide from this one. Double kill for Ace.
Oh, I'm not too sure what he was actually thinking right there, because it's really too dangerous for him to face check in that sort of sense, and he went in for the flicker, trying to actually get in position to actually use the weight of the dragon, but that was way too much for him, as there's 3 members of the side of EVOS SG to respond. And looking at that, T-Max can only hold on for so long. Righteous Pathway being used into effect, and lucky enough, they did stall a little bit of time. Look at the goal path right here, as EVOS Esports are looking to extend it to a 5K goal lead.
And coming into this, we expected VFM to be the one to start the fight, and they kind of did at the turtle pit.
As EVOS Esports are looking to extend it to a 5K goal lead.
And coming into this, we expected VFM to be the one to start the fight, and they kind of did at the turtle pit, but never happened because EVOS actually didn't want to give it to them. And now EVOS actually, they recognize their advantage, they identify those opportunities. They are now on the aggressors, and Lucky's Cho not being able to get that effectiveness that he wants.
That's right. A lot of all these huge items have been purchased. We've seen the Bloodlust Axe, Athena Shield, and a whole lot of all these stuff like Endless Battle as well. So I'm looking at EVOS Esports here, having a great power spike, and now look at the damage coming out from the side of Dear Bambi, taking over on the side of T-Max. Not enough to bring him down, but they will have to give up this tower in the mid lane.
This is just smart play from EVOS SG. They don't take fights. They just want the objectives. You push VFM back. They know that VFM cannot contest all this wave. The only wave clear that they have is in the Granger, maybe a bit in the Harry, but they have to kind of be in close proximity, which VFM does not want to happen without that robust front line. And because of that, EVOS SG, they're just going to take structure after structure. One last outer tier turret to go, and EVOS SG will be looking at high ground.
That's right, and well, heading in towards their third turtle of the game. Potato is going to solo this all by himself without any sort of a hassle at all. Well, over the top side, there's still immense pressure coming from the side of Zhao PL. If there's going to be an MVP, and I don't want to crown it so prematurely, but he has been so effective in all of these battles.
And meanwhile, Teeny is trying his best to go for those split push, but So will find him. And this, the 1v1 that we call it legendary in the previous broadcast. Teeny not wanting to fight this, but So is not going to let him go. Backup does arrive.
Well, I think it's really pointless to actually chase over Masha at this point of time, because she's got that movement speed. She's got so many layers of health. So if you were to actually take down one Masha, it will take about 3 members at the very least.
Yeah, Wild Power just gives her that so much more mobility, and as long as you push the Masha away from resources, that is as equivalent to killing her, because she will be ineffective. And again, they do find a hideout. The Deadly Sonana does come out, and look at Zhao Piao, the guy that says creating a lot of space. He gets kicked back way of the dragon. Lucky though, not able to convert that into anything, and he ends up losing his life. And EVOS actually, they'll claim another one, and they might be able to set up for Lord.
That was definitely a perfect macro flavor, because you talk about the setup here. They're going to create one more before going in for the Lord. Meteor shower from Dear Bambi to secure a kill. Flicker being popped from the side of Soul as well. Now we see all 4 members on the top side. They want to secure that tower, and perhaps they might just be able to break it open before even Lord spawns up.
Yeah, VFM falling apart, and this is not the same VFM that we saw this morning, that we saw in the previous 2 series. In this deciding game, as fatigued as both teams are, it seems like EVOS SG are the more composed one, and Lucky goes for another face check. Not able to be killed off just yet, but seems like she's playing with fire at this point, and Ace and Zhao Pia would just push him back. Now back up, he said the Potato is there, and he will finish the job.
Well, took them long enough to actually back him up, but look at T-Max getting stuck in between as well with the right to battle. Tiny! Oh my goodness, he's still surviving. And then now here comes the flicker as well, bringing down T-Max. And oh my goodness me, EVOS Esports have taken down 4 members, and now it's only down to Broly. Let's have a little bit of recap brought to you by U-Mobile.
And just look at, oh dear Bambi, meteor shower on point on all the necessary calls, and by the time we thought that Marsha got the kill, but Chang'e was the one melting through VFM, and EVOS actually 10 minutes in, they're knocking on the doors of VFM.
Oh my, look at how hungry these Tigers are. The Tigers from Singapore might just be able to secure game point number 1 heading in towards the series.
What an amazing performance from EVOS, actually clean